We're going to do a square that shows you ribbing. See how that stands up? One thing I do like about this square is it is reversible, so if you prefer the look of one side over the other, that is perfectly fine. I want to go over how to read the PDF, and then we're going to get this on the loom and get going. The PDF, you're going to have a square up here. It's going to tell you all the supplies you need, the loom, the yarn, even the gauging, which these squares are made to be roughly a 12-inch by 12-inch square. I'm doing the same number of cast-on stitches for each square on the same loom. It makes it much easier to connect them later, so there may be little variances in the gauging, but it's going to be fine. What we are doing is, this one, we are doing a seed stitch border around the entire project that keeps the edges nice and smooth, and that's going to keep these squares really symmetrical, because I'll show you another one I did. This is just the seed stitch one. So whenever we go to connect these, they'll have that same, see that same design there. That'll be matching up. To read the chart, we're going from the top to the bottom, and I even put little arrows here so you know where your working yarn is coming from each time. So we're going to do our cast on, and the working yarn will be over here. So row 1, we are working from peg 49 all the way back to peg 1. On the chart, what you see are the dots. Those are blocks that you do purl stitches. The empty ones are just your knit stitch. If it's highlighted in yellow, that's just marking out the area that are repeats. I've got these up here marked. You can mark those pegs on the loom themselves to help you keep track of where you are with the pattern. But I'll just go over this. Okay, so row 1 here, we're going to skip that first stitch because the working yarn is coming from it. Just gives us a nicer edge. You know, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, all the way to peg 1. Another way to look at this is right here. Row 1 through 6, it gives our, right here. Row 7, it's rowed out there as well, so you can follow it either way. You can print out this sheet if you would like, and it has every row rowed out. Instead of it saying, you know, row 7 and 8 repeat, you got row 7, 8, 9. I have the numbers here, so you can like check off the numbers as you go if you would like. Now for this design, I'll show you how I have my loom marked. Now the first 7 and the last 7 pegs of each row are going to go to your moss stitch. There's going to be a moss stitch border around the square with our ribbing on the inside. The chart here shows you what pegs you mark. I've got peg 1 and peg 7 marked with different colors, so I know that this is my seed stitch section. But other than that, I got peg 8, 10, 12, 13, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 29, 30, 31, 34, 35, 38, 39, 40, and 43 marked. When you're done with those first 6 rows, 7 and 8, those 2 rows just repeat over and over and over until you get to row 95, which I do have it wrote out down here if you prefer the written version. And I got this wrote out, so if you need to check mark your rows off as you go, you can see what side of the loom your yarn's coming from. And I've got the written out version down here. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the loom. We are doing a chain cast on of 50 pegs. I'm using Basic Stitch Anti-Pill Lion Brand yarn. And was it Silver Heather or something like that? Let me see, where's the name? There it is. Yes, Silver Heather. It is a number 4 worsted weight yarn. I've used this for a few projects and I like it. So far, I do like it. We are going to go to peg 1 here. We need a slip knot. Take the tail of your yarn here, got the working yarn there, tail over, working yarn through. That loop is now a slip knot. I'm going to put the working yarn behind the peg on the loom, and we're pulling the working yarn through that loop you made. And tighten it up. Now that tail, for that first stitch, that tail is going to kind of get in the way probably every time. You just pull it back there. But once it's on the loom, you've made a new loop here. That new loop goes behind the second peg, and your working yarn goes through to create another loop. This is what you do all the way to peg 50. From here, you're going to follow the chart. Right now, our working yarn is coming from peg 50, going in the direction of peg 1. And we are doing the seed stitch, so it's going to be purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, all the way to the end, and then we'll be doing 6 rows of just that purl 1, knit 1 texture. First thing you want to do is the working yarn is coming from peg 50. You do not rework peg 50. You don't rewrap it. You just skip it. That's called slipping the stitch. That helps to give a nicer looking edge. You're starting with a purl stitch. To do a purl stitch, you take your loom tool down through the top of the stitch that's on the peg, working yarn below, and you're going to pull that working yarn up through. That's created a new stitch. Take that old stitch, pop it off there, tighten up that new one. For the knit stitch, you can use the flat U or true knit stitch. I will show you each of those. The flat stitch goes straight across, and you're going to take bottom over the top. That's your flat stitch. I'm going to do another purl stitch here because I'm following my texture. I personally don't care for the flat stitch. My tension tends to be very tight anyway, so that just goes a little too tight for me. The U stitch is what I normally do. Again, working yarn is across the top, but we're taking it behind like a U. That gives a little more yarn there, a little more tension, or sorry, a little more yarn there. The stitch is a lot looser. The true knit stitch is the opposite of the purl stitch. So instead of the loom tool down through the top, it's up through the bottom, and you're pulling the working yarn down. Old stitch off, new stitch on. I find it very confusing to do ribbing with true knit and the purl stitch. It's easier for me to just do the U stitch. The last peg of every row, you're going to do a wrap and turn, which is working yarn behind the peg and wrap around the front, and then knit over. The reason you're doing this is, I'll undo this stitch and show you what happens. You can go around the front and like your U stitch if you want, but when you're doing that, the strand here is crossing when you bring it back into the front, so that twists the stitch. You'll still end up with a nice edge, but if you go behind and around the front, that doesn't cross. Let me grab a block here and I'll show you what it does. So when it doesn't cross, you'll have an edge like this where it's nice and even. Now when it does, alright, I know I did part of this one. You can see a little bit on here. The one leg will be longer. See how that one leg is longer than that one right there? But if you do it where it doesn't cross, it'll be more symmetrical. Go ahead and work up your project. You got 100 rows to do, and I'll show you how to do your bind off. Follow your chart. You can follow this top part, you can follow your bottom part. Time to bind off. Take your working yarn, wrap it around the loom like 3 times and cut. That just gives you enough excess yarn to do this entire bind off. I'm doing a super stretchy bind off. Working yarn is coming from your first peg. Take your working yarn, pull it down through the stitch on peg 2, and go back to peg 1 and go up. Alright, so we're going to skip peg 2, pull the working yarn down through peg 2, go back 1, pull the working yarn up through, actually it'd be peg 3, skip 1, working yarn down, go back 1, working yarn up, skip 1, working yarn down, Alright, it's off the loom. Ribbing stitches, it's going to want a bunch like this. That's just what they do. Stretch it out and you can see how the design turned out. I kept track of how many rows I had. And the ribbing one, of course, this is one that can be reversed. That's all I got for this square. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope the video was informative and that you enjoyed it. Questions, comments, please leave in the comment section below. My email is in the description below if you need to contact me directly. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, follow, turn on notifications. Thank you guys.